had a wonderful discussion with the PDP chairman in Enugu State, and we talked about the president's visit to Enugu State and the commissioning of different projects, and equally the promises that he had made. And today, again, we have another guest in the studio. We have Kanu'S, who is equally here to give us an insight on the president's visit to Enugu State and, his own opinion on an overview of what he thinks about the projects that were commissioned and the promises that he had made during the course of his visit. Good morning, Kanu'S. Welcome to the studio.
It's my pleasure.
Okay. So, first of all, I want to get your idea on the visit of the president. What did you think about it? What did you make of this entire visit and the commissioning of this project?
Anyway, to some of us, we are not excited with the fact that the president visited Enugu State, because the visit of Mr. President is what I would refer to as one of the ceremonial activities conventionally carried out by presidents in time past in this country. Because we have what we refer to as the exclusive legislative list and then the concurrent list in the Nigerian Constitution, in which case the federal government is expected to carry into force the provisions of the exclusive legislative list for the benefit of the Nigerian people, while the governments of the various federating units are expected to carry into force the provisions of the concurrent and residual legislative list. Having said that, Mr. President came to Enugu State to commission projects allegedly executed by the government of Enugu State. I was thinking that while doing that, Mr. President should have also concurrently commissioned projects executed by the federal government for the benefit of the people of Enugu State, being projects that ordinarily should fall within the ambit of the exclusive legislative list. Because Mr. President became the president of this country in 2023, and here we are in 2025, and in a few weeks' time, he must have spent 2 years in office. So I thought that by now that the president should be telling us that so and so projects which he commissioned, that they be perfectly in order, or that they will be in the right state for public use, maybe from the month of May 2025. But that was not to be the case. He came to commission the projects executed by the government of Enugu State under the watch of the current governor of the state. So, to some of us, it does not excite. With due respect, Mr. President's visit to a great extent began to be a ceremonial exercise, because he came to see things for himself. He came to commission the projects executed by the head of the executive arm of government in Enugu State. So it should have been a very wonderful outing had it been that while commissioning the projects executed by the government of Enugu State, he also will concurrently commission the projects executed for the benefit of Enugu people by the federal government of Nigeria, and that never happened, to the best of my knowledge. Okay.
You sound really disappointed about the commissioning of this project that were executed by the present governor of Enugu State. The promises that he had made about the security, the railways, the Anambra State, Anambra Basin, there's so many promises he had made. Do you agree with those promises? Do they seem like something that can actually come out in the near future?
Promises to me should be made during campaigns, and when the business of governance must have taken off, then additional promises could be made in addendum to the ones earlier made. During electioneering campaigns, the candidates are expected to tell the people what they want to do for them. And then when they are given the opportunity to prove their mettle leadership-wise, they will now embark on lines of action geared towards fulfilling the promises made. And in the course of doing that, you will now say that when I came to Enugu in 2023, I promised to do so and so thing. Now I have done that, or I'm already on it. I'm pleading with the people to give me some time that before the end of my tenure in office, I will be able to complete some and so projects, and that with the support of the people, I will also do some and so things. I also intend to execute so and so projects. Now, having said that, I thought about security. Interestingly, the government of Enugu State, from what we are told, purchased some vehicles for the purpose of enhancing the security architecture of the state. And to the best of my knowledge, as far as security is concerned, security of lives and property, which is one of the basic responsibilities of the Nigeria Police Force, is under the control of the federal government. We know as a fact that, going by the same provisions of the Nigerian Constitution, that the governor is the chief security officer of the state, in which case there's nothing wrong with the governor, making available facilities that will help improve the security situation of his state. But I thought Mr. President should have been the one to, take care of the provision of facilities and infrastructure for the Nigerian Police Force or any other security agency in the state, for the purpose of seeing to it that they carry out their duties in a more professional manner. And just the same way the federal government at times do reimburse state governors who execute infrastructural projects for the benefit of their people, the funds expended in the course of carrying out such projects. Maybe Mr. President will have said, Enugu state government, you have tried in providing vehicles for the police. I'm going to liaise with the necessary authorities when I get back to Abuja to reimburse the funds that have been spent in procuring these vehicles, so that the governor can now use same for the purposes of executing other projects for the benefit of Enugu people. That never happened. He talked about the Blue Way rail line. Under the watch of former President Muhammadu Buhari, I think the Southeast geopolitical zone was, was skinned out as far as that particular facet of transportation is concerned. I thought that the current president would have deemed that to be an emergency, in the spirit of fairness, in the spirit of giving the people of the Southeast a sense of belonging. As I speak, to the best of my knowledge, that is not the case. And with the amendments to the Nigerian Constitution effected of late, both the states, federating states, and the federal government now wield concurrent powers over railway. So I thought that before now, that Mr. President, and possibly while working hand in glove with the government of Enugu State, headed by the governor of Enugu State, should have done something tangible, or should have embarked on reasonable line of action before now, to see to it that any railway project is given life. So basically telling us that the Blue Railway project will be given attention is akin to one making a campaign promise when ordinarily it is time for leadership. So I wouldn't actually say that I'm disappointed with the outing, but for some of us, we are not excited. We are not excited. It's as good as the governor should have commissioned this project, because the president maybe came to Enugu maybe to expand his political frontiers in the country. It's a good one. He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He's the president of the country. He has the right to visit any part of Nigeria. But if you're talking about projects, I think he should have been more interesting, to have a president commission the projects executed by a governor, while concurrently commissioning that commissioned by his office. It will even make it look more interesting. They say, yes, the governor of Enugu State, I've come to commission the projects which we executed. I hope you emulate while executing projects, that you also take a look at the ones which I've done to emulate areas of perceived progress recorded in the projects which I executed, if there are prima facie deficiencies in the ones executed by the governor of the state. So to a great extent, I see the president's visit as more of a political outing geared towards expanding the political frontiers of the president. That's the way I look at it.
Okay, one of the major things that that is in the mind of Nigerians, especially those from the Southeast region, some of them have even voiced this, the release of Nnamdi Kanu. That was not mentioned at all. Are you surprised that that was not mentioned, given that the Southeast is still reeling in that Monday sit-at-home thing, even though, yeah, they could say a little things have been improved upon, given the activities of people within this festive period, but we still know that the Mondays are usually scanty. There's hardly an interstate movement within the Southeast when it's Monday. You basically move with your hearts in your mouth, basically around the Southeast when it's Monday. Are you surprised that the president never mentioned Nnamdi Kanu, giving what has happened in the past, with the sentiment that comes with him still being incarcerated under his watch?
I will put it this way: it didn't come to me as a surprise that Nnamdi Kanu's issue was not raised, or the issue of the agitation by the people of the Southeast geopolitical zone. Because as far as I'm concerned, Nnamdi Kanu's agitation was given life by the actions and inactions of the former president, Muhammadu Buhari. Before Muhammadu Buhari became the president in 2015, Nigeria was already polarized along ethnic and religious lines. But with the emergence of the then president, he took the division of Nigeria to another level, in which case, Nnamdi Kanu's professed agitation for Biafra garnered momentum, because he was like a rallying point at that particular point in time. Yes, he may have gotten certain things wrong in the course of agitating. His intentions behind the agitation is not what I'm here to discuss this morning. Whether his intentions were right or wrong is immaterial. The most important thing is that someone made the land fertile for that agitation to thrive. Being the former President Buhari made the land fertile for Nnamdi Kanu's agitation to thrive. Having said that, it never came to me as a surprise that that issue was not raised. It's not left for the president to raise the issue. It is the governors who should actually bring that to the front burner. It is the governors who actually should have told Mr. President that we are appealing to you to use your good offices in suing to read that this man is released. The question of whether Nnamdi Kanu is right or wrong, I think, shouldn't be coming up at this juncture, because there are those who have done maybe whatever he may have alleged to have done, and they are working free as I speak. Tinubu'S is a case at hand in that regard, because both parties perpetrated the alleged act, offending act, so to speak, within the same time frame. Today, Tinubu'S is a free man. So if you are talking about a nation where justice and fairness will thrive, where there be equality before the law, where there be equal protection of the law, then Nnamdi Kanu should be released, because what source for the geese is also source for the gander. So, but the Southeast governors never raised that. And having not raised that, I think it would have been wrong for Mr. President to raise that. It will amount to crying more than the bereaved. Rather, the governor of Enugu State told us that activities in Enugu have resumed in earnest. Yes, we are happy that activities have resumed, because the economy of the state and Southeast at large is being adversely affected by the continuous tattooing. But the main issue at stake has not yet been addressed. The issue of injustice is staring at us. The issue of agitation, the issue of obvious marginalization and subjugation of the people of this zone is there staring at us, and no matter how you want to shy away from it, it will not erode the fact that there is manifest injustice, institutionalized injustice against the people of the Southeast geopolitical zone operating in Nigeria, and that particular issue is here to be addressed. But our governors kept mum, and it didn't come to me as a surprise, because I refer to the governors of the Southeast, most of, if not all of them, including the governor of Enugu State, as conventional governors. When I mean conventional governors, governors who want to be in the good books of Abuja, governors who want to be seen as good boys, boys in quotes, because they are men. They want to be seen as good boys. They don't want to be courageous enough, to stand firm, to let the people, the powers that be, know their stance. And I can tell you this at variance with what obtains in some other parts of the country. Look at what is going on with the tax reform bills pending at the National Assembly. You find other governors speaking out, defending what they perceive to be the interest of their people. And that is how you know governors who are courageous. But most of the governors we have here, they want to be good boys. So in life, you have to choose between being a good boy to the powers that be at the center and also defending the interest of your people. Even under the watch of former President Muhammadu Buhari, the governors of the Southwest geopolitical zone, they came together despite their respective political affiliations. They came together and they established Amotekun for the purpose of protecting the Southwest geopolitical zone from those who were hell-bent on terrorizing their people. But here it seems it has become the culture of the day to have governors who want to be in the good books of the powers that be at the center. So I am not surprised that that issue was not raised. Issue of Nnamdi Kanu's release. I'm surprised that it was not. It would have been a case of Mr. President trying to create additional worries for himself, for him not to be the one to raise the issue. It would be akin to one trying more than the bereaved. The bereaved is the Southeast. So the Southeasterners should be the ones represented by our leaders, presumably their governors. They should be the ones crying that, look, oh, please come to our aid. But they have told the president that all is well. So the president should believe that all is well. So it would have been wrong of Mr. President to now start saying all is not well when the governor who is here in Enugu, has told him that all is well, that will now come out on Mondays. We are coming out on Mondays. He has told him. So Mr. President said, wow. So it's better I throw away the key of the DSS apartment where this man is kept. So that, and again, we should also get something right. Because whenever we talk about Nnamdi Kanu's release being fundamental as far as security of lives and property is concerned in the Southeast, it will now make you look as if Nnamdi Kanu is the brain behind insecurity in the Southeast. We should appreciate the fact that even before the emergence of his agitation, conventional security challenges have been going on in the Southeast, just like every other part of Nigeria. But we should also appreciate the fact that his absence has created a lacuna in which some criminal elements now capitalize on, the leadership lacuna created by his absence in perpetrating evil, or better still, in holding the people of the Southeast at ransom while hiding under the banner of being acclaimed agitators. So if he should be released, two things should be achieved. One, equality before the law, equal protection of the law. That what is being done to Femi is also being done to Okeke. That what is being done to Musa is being done to Fubara. I'm not going to be governor of Fubara State. I just want to. So, but if you leave Femi and then hold Okeke, that means Femi, it's not be a case of all animals not being equal. That means Femi is now a privileged individual. Femi is now better than Okeke. And you cannot do that. And every morning you expect us to sing the national anthem. Even when some of us are struggling to memorize national anthem, that there's equality, that we are hailing the country. So if you want us to hail the country in spirit and in truth, if you want us to hail the country devoid of any form of compulsion, then release him. If you want to punish all agitators, including those who took up arms in time past because they felt that the environment was being destroyed in the course of oil exploration. You should bring all of them out and punish them. But they had reasons, professional cogent reasons for doing that. And the then President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, God bless his soul, saw reasons beyond legality, beyond legalism, in offering the olive branch of amnesty. I can even say that following the failure of the governor of Enugu State to raise the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, it to a great extent may lend credence to the belief that our governors may actually be the ones behind the continued stay of this man in custody. Because there is this conventional belief in normal conventional balance that a king does not like having a rival in his custody because he's a terrain. Because it got to a point that it's like the people of the Southeast, many people are not taking orders from Nnamdi Kanu. A governor will come out and give an instruction, then a counter directive will be given, and the people will now obey the counter directive. And normally, even from the days of yore, that's why Herod went after Christ. Most kings don't like having a parallel king in their terrain. So maybe they may be the best. They should appreciate the fact that Nnamdi Kanu, for now, cannot be a king in their own terrain. He may be a king in the heart of some people. And if you don't want his kingship to reign forever, or if you don't want his kingship to thrive, you should not address those issues. Just like opposition. Opposition thrives when the government in power is not living up to expectation. If the government of the day is doing well, then what will you capitalize on in carrying out the opposition business? Nothing. It is when you are not doing well, that's when the opposition business will thrive. They will tell you that the governor is not paying salary, that the governor is not building roads, quality roads, that the governor is not paying pensioners, that the governor is using funds meant for local government council in building projects while taking glory. That's when the opposition will have the right to talk. That the governor is collecting taxes, but that the taxes being collected vis-a-vis other internally generated revenue and the money accruing from the federation account, that these funds are not commensurate with the projects on ground. That is when opposition will thrive. In other words, address the issues of injustice being raised, issues of injustice staring at us being raised. That is when you even dwindle that agitation. That is when the people will say, we don't have reason for even living this country. That Nigeria is a beautiful place. We have been given a sense of belonging in the country. But when obviously all is not well, you will make the agitation to thrive. Whether you like it or not, you will make him to enjoy the sympathy of those who believe that they are being subjugated.
Interesting.
That's quite interesting, really. I mean, given how you have put it, there's a lot of excitement about the president's visit, but the way you are putting it, it looks like that excitement, you are puncturing the excitement.
Those who are excited are entitled to be excited. And those who are, that's the beauty of democracy. Those who are well fed, they can be excited. Those in the corridors of power, they have to be excited. After all, all is well with them. But those who are not happy with what is going on, they will not be excited. Those who want to be dispassionate with the ongoing in the environment, they will not be, at worst, they may be disinterested in what is playing out. Assuming the president came here to commission the railway network, which some persons are now erecting structures on our own railway network, I would say, wow, the president has come to, to at least to formally declare functional one of the promises he made to us during the electioneering period. That is not. I'm yet to come across any laudable project being executed by the federal government in Enugu State in terms of infrastructural amenity, apart from this bridge that collapsed near New Artisan Market that is being, that is being reconstructed. I don't know of any. Even under the watch of former President Buhari, he was able to commission to construct the second Niger bridge. So I can't, permit me if I'm wrong, I can't remember any other laudable project or any laudable project that the federal government under the watch of President Tinubu has executed for the people of the Southeast. Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, to a great extent has been attended to by the former president, but still, a portion of that road, if I'm right, I don't know, I no longer normally make use of that place, because if you want to embark on that expedition, you may not be able to go to wherever you're going to. So we'll not take the old road whenever we want to travel outside the shores of Enugu. So I'm yet to come across any concrete step that he has taken under his watch for the benefit of the people of the Southeast.
But the project in itself, the Command and Control Security Center, the resurfacing of the roads in the metropolis, we also have the smart schools, and then also the International Conference Center. What do you make of those projects? Are they not laudable projects? Don't you welcome the developments that he has done, in that regard?
Laudable projects, but while doing that, we should also ask critical questions. The beautiful thing about it, I say, why if you Nigerian people, I keep saying it, Nigerians, we are interesting set of people as far as this planet is concerned. Because Nigeria is a nation where most victims of bad governance tend to be at home with their oppressors. Because I know that some persons who are listening to me may tend to disagree, which they have the right to do that. That's the beauty of democracy. If I must have my way, then it will be antithetical to democratic norms. But what I'm trying to say now, let's start with International Conference Center. On the face of it, the governor took a very bold step and a proactive one in putting that place in order, because of a truth. If the place starts functioning, it will benefit the Enugu State, even economically. The government will be able to generate revenue. It will also help, it will also help project the image of Enugu State. At least we can now have the wherewithal to host international events. But I expect the federal government to also ask, and Enugu people to also ask some questions. One, before the current governor became the governor, this project was initiated by the erstwhile governor of the state, Senator Nnamdi. When the project, at the initial stage of the project, we have funds mapped out for this project. We have funds mapped out for this project. If yes, we are contracts awarded for this project. If yes, the funds mapped out for this project at that particular point, we are they all remitted to the contractors? If yes, so what happened? So is it a case of we now used ×2 of the money to renovate that place? So if the answer is that maybe the funds were released from the world go, and those funds were still utilized in executing that project, wonderful. That's example number one. But if maybe the earlier funds used or mapped out for that project presently is unaccounted for, then some of us will not be excited. In fact, certain things don't excite some of us. Certain things don't excite. It has to do with your lifestyle. Certain things, some of us, maybe based on our upbringing, we are bound to ask some critical questions. Just like those clapping for the governor, they have the right to do that. But I know that in this state, Enugu State, there was a time we never had local government chairmen and councillors under the watch of this current governor. So ordinarily, I would also like to know the funds that ordinarily should accrue to these 17 local governments of Enugu State. What happened to those funds? Were those funds part of the funds utilized in constructing some of these projects? If the answer is yes, that means we should be clapping for those. Maybe we should clap for the non-existent local government chairmen who ordinarily should have used the funds. Because if as a state government you have the funds coming to you and you are not giving good account of those funds, you are not utilizing the funds coming from local government terrains, for instance, in executing projects, and some of us will not clap after you are even doing your work. Some of us will not clap for you that way. But as I said, some of us tend to be blindfolded. They say the governor is working. Some even tell you that we are not saying you shouldn't steal, but while stealing, ensure you work.
This is normal interaction we have with Nigerians. They say, no, in Igbo parlance, we say, he can't that's work and still, but the word that the work you are executing is above the wrong you are perpetrating. That is the philosophy of some of us. And that is why I keep saying that most of us, we get the type of leaders we deserve. So I've used the International Conference Center as an example. Then talking about
but why do you concern yourself with funds that have been allocated? I mean, he has done it. I mean, Senator Chimareke couldn't finish it. We had Sullivan who could also finish it. We also have Guruburu who couldn't finish it, but he has come to do it within 2 years.
He has a moral and legal obligation to also recoup any funds that should have been used for that project.
Okay, you say he should go and probe all.
Not only probing may end there. After probing, it may end there. The funds should be brought back, unless those funds weren't released. If those funds are not brought back, you don't have any moral right to collect tax from anybody. You don't. They go about collecting taxes. Render account to Enugu people. You have a moral and legal duty to render account to us of how our funds were utilized since 1999. It's a moral and legal duty. Especially when Naira has serious value. So you cannot be going about collecting taxes. That's even Bible says we should pay tax. Good and fine, Bible scholars. Why doing that? You should also tell us that 1 Naira was mapped out for this project on that Chimareke Nnamdi. That is this 1 Naira that you are now using, or that 1 Naira has been sent back to the coffers of Enugu State, because it's possible it may have been done. After all, most of them carry their acts in secrecy. They say that government is secrecy. That's what some people say, that government is a secret, that anything about government should be done in a clandestine manner. That's not the topic of discourse this morning. But the point there is this: as you are executing that project, it's akin to maybe giving me 100 Naira to purchase this cup. Then I will now squander 50 Naira or 60 Naira. You will now give me extra money, and I will now buy another one, and I start claiming that I purchased the cup. What about the balance? Because that balance will also be enough to take care of the recipients of that cup. We are talking about smart schools. Good and fine, excellent. I hope those smart schools were built in good faith, because there's a conventional belief in Nigeria that while executing project like under the watch of my governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, he constructed bus stops. Those bus stops are now being destroyed. You'd be shocked to know the enormity of funds that went to the construction of those bus stops under the watch of Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. They are now being destroyed. New ones are now being built. So the smart schools, we are talking about smart schools, wonderful, no problem. What about other public institutions, public primary and secondary schools? Are they in good state? How are the teachers being taken care of? Vis-a-vis what obtains in other civilized nations? What about the facilities in these conventional institutions? These institutions, are they not state-owned institutions? But as I said, many of us don't ask questions. That's why I'm telling you that we get the leaders we deserve, no matter how we want to run around this story. Because the start saying, leave it that way. And we are living it that way. We are all in Nigeria. Some of us don't want to leave for now. We are still even though we may have the opportunity of leaving, we are all here. So that's the problem with the environment. So smart schools on the face of it, good and fine. What about the public schools in existence before these smart schools? What stops you? Will you take anything away from you as a governor if instead of establishing these smart schools, if you pump in funds into not only funds, because if you pump in funds, some people will even squander the money. Governance is not easy. If you're talking about smart, but I mean, you put in place infrastructural amenities that will make students who are interested in embracing the education to acquire formal education, because we are in trouble of late in this society, because you are talking about schools. Many people, they're not saying that school is a scam. That's what many people are not saying, school is a scam. But I know that education is not scam. I'm sure of what I'm saying. Most of us, by God's grace, have been privileged to attain some heights in life because of the fact that we embraced education wholeheartedly. So that those who want to go to school and acquire thorough education can do that. Not those who want to just acquire certificates and then now start shouting that I am now a graduate, while I have graduated, when they are called upon to defend the qualification they brandish about, they will not be in trouble. So why constructing, or before constructing the smart schools, why not take care of the already existing schools? Why not make them to be in a standard that these public schools should attain in modern day world? Unless you are trying to make us believe, as is conventionally believed, that many governors or leaders that they do embark on projects for the purpose of making pecuniary gains behind the scene. You execute contracts, build smart schools, build confused schools, build progressive schools, give it any name, execute project. This project is how much? 10 naira on paper, but in reality is 3 naira, or maybe in reality is 6 naira. The contractors will collect their own, whoever maybe in the short of project, before you know something inferior, whatever will be built. It's I'm not making a factual statement, but this is conventionally what many of us believe transpires in Nigeria. So these are some of the things we have to look at. But by and large, it is said that power belongs to the people. Democracy, government of the people. So the people, I'm here talking because I want to talk, because I'm independent-minded. I'm saying my own opinion. So if the people are comfortable with whatever is playing out, good and fine. So you cannot force yourself on the people. But critical questions should be asked. Critical questions. And I make a general comment about Nigeria. Only if Nigerian people, know the enormity of resources in this country, they will shed tears. Before now that you are now battling with economic turmoil. Like a state like River State. I listened to a chairman of a local government council in River State some days ago in one of the media houses in Nigeria. He told us that River State is financially viable, which is true. River State is a rich state. That's why there is this belief in the normal parlance that a councillor in River State may, in terms of financial standing, be at par with a local government chairman in a northern state, because River State is economically viable. We are also made to understand that under the watch of former military head of state, Yakubu Gowon, if I'm right, that he told us that Nigeria is rich. Now the problem is how to spend the money. Despite the economic turmoil going on in the country, take a look at the way most politicians or public office holders behave vis-a-vis. So, but the point, as I said, we are getting the leaders we desire, because you find people coming to justify what is playing out. So we are saying, like using Enugu State as a case study, if I'm right, if I should apply logic vis-a-vis what the president has said, that governors now receive huge amount of money. The president said it of late, that governors now receive serious money. So with the removal of subsidy and or whatnot. When you just oppose the projects being executed, vis-a-vis the funds coming from the federation account, vis-a-vis internally generated revenue in this state, those who want to be truthful to themselves, they know that we are being given a drop of water in an ocean, and many people are clapping. Let them continue clapping. We are getting the leaders we deserve. The day we are tired of the system, most of us are tired. But unfortunately, most of us may be educated, but we are illiterate as far as governance is concerned. Most of us don't ask critical questions. Most of us believe in bandwagonism. And here, it's not happening top to bottom. Just follow him, follow who no road. Don't be left behind. That is it.
Right, but how would you rate this current administration generally?
Is it in Enugu State?
Yes, Enugu State.
I think to a great extent, I'm an interested party. And any assessment, okay, what I would say in all fairness, is just a normal administration. Normal, conventional administration. I wouldn't say that at least this is a departure from what we saw under Ugu, and that's the truth. But as far as I'm concerned, this government does not inspire. Because I'm privileged to have, had an eye view or insight as to what obtains in other climes, how governance should be carried out. As far as governance is concerned, you should carry out the business of governance while having this human face. You should take a look at the plight of those you are governing. You should know how to strike a balance. This government does not inspire, as far as I'm concerned. I know what I'm saying.
What do you mean by he doesn't inspire? What does that mean?
If you find a government that inspires, as you are, let me give you instances. Under Chris Ngige was a governor that inspired a number of people, because you saw a radical departure, a radical one. You saw a government that was pro-people, a government that I could refer to as a socialist inclined government. Another example, under the watch of Mbakwe, we still make reference to Mbakwe till date. We still make reference to Michael Obara till date. We still make reference to Latif Jakande. These leaders, at least in our own environment, they are inspired. A government that inspires, you should take a look at the quality of the road being executed by a governor. How long will that road last? Not the fact that the road is looking beautiful. How long was the quality of this road? A governor that inspires, or a government that inspires, we make you to even to a great extent to be a willing participant in the project of developing that state. That is why you come to an environment, nothing will be going on in that environment. you now see a leader that inspires. Only the way he will talk will compel people to act, because they believe in that leader, because they see to the great extent some level of sincerity, and then a level of coming to terms with the reality on ground on part of that leader. For instance, using the federal government, with due respect to President Tinubu, President Tinubu is a master strategist politically. I give it to him. Again, hopefully I'm not digressing, but I'm trying to make a point. Again, talking about he's a leader with a large heart, even going by his appointments. Obviously, there are many shortcomings as far as President Tinubu's government is concerned. But if you're talking about inspiration, his government does not inspire. And that is the reality. Because if you meet a government that inspires, like coming back to Enugu State, the people will be compelled on their own. That's where the spirit of nationalism will be awakened, because the people are in tune with the fact that the way this governor is carrying out his activities, and he's conversant with the yearnings, aspirations, challenges of the people. Just like in case of President Tinubu, you cannot be telling us to adjust our way of life in order to come to terms with the realities on ground. Whereas you are living in opulence from the way the government is carrying out its business. You are making us understand that all is still well with the country, even when all is not well. So coming down to Enugu State, you have a leader who seems to be disconnected from the reality on ground. You have a leader who is speaking about taxation on the face of it, just like you're talking about tax. Go to the so-called civilized countries they are trying to emulate. Even things like public conveniences are there for all and sundry, and that's why something like obscene publication is an offense in some of these civilized nations. Now, do we have such facilities here? The answer is no. Now, for instance, what is going on in Enugu State is that they're trying to make it an enforceable criminal act to embark on the offense of obscene publication when you don't have public conveniences in Enugu State. So, when you see a leadership that inspires, you don't need to be told. It's not about propaganda. A leadership that inspires won't bother going to TV to advertise the projects, the activities, the disposition of the government will be there for the people to feel the impulse, for men of goodwill to feel the impulse. So it's just a normal government. It's not a government. It's a government that inspires, that made Hitler. Of course, no, there's nothing good about Hitler, but let's just pick out an iota of a positive achievement made under Hitler. It was under Hitler's watch that the Germans were able to build Volkswagen. Talking about leadership that inspires, under the watch of Ojukwu as the Biafran head of state during the Civil War, the inspiration compelled the people to bring out the best in them. And that's why the Igbos were able to construct technological devices to save themselves during that war.
All right.
So leadership that inspires will even give rise to technological innovation, scientific discoveries. Because people you are in tune with the people, not when you exhibit that disconnectedness from the people. Because maybe probably you are a rich man, you don't know that some people wake up in the morning without seeing 10 naira in their pocket. So when you are being told that people are frustrated, you won't appreciate what is being said. But to a greater, I repeat, the people are getting the type of people they deserve. Because here in Eastern Enugu, during the campaigns, many people in Enugu are saying that you should follow who no road. You know, there are two major contenders in the election. Absolutely. And these two contenders, the current governor and his main rival, they are the same people. They are all in PDP, doing the same thing. They benefited from the system. But the people said, no, we want them, and you have to honor that. So, as I say, I don't normally like putting issues about assessing the current government. Let the people of Enugu State assess the current governor. If they say that is wonderful, good and let it remain with them. Power belongs to the people. But for me, it's just a normal government.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister CD Ogbe. Thank you. We truly appreciate you. Happy New Year to you.
Thank
wish
you so
all
much,
the best.
sir.
Yeah, it's already fast.
We're just 7 days old in the year.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being part of today's broadcast. We appreciate you. You know, we needed to, extend our broadcast on the side of Enugu State. So hopefully Abuja reconnects from next time. My name is Charles Pius.
My name is Quinsley Rowland.